My name's Charles Mathews, and today we're speaking to Capitec. We're speaking to Francois, who's the CMO of Capitec, and we're going to be talking branding and how branding is evolving in a post-COVID market, where banking is at, where the market is at. Francois, hello, great to be with you today.
Good morning, Charles. Thank you very much.
The past year has been, perhaps the most challenging from a marketing perspective. I mean, we've last year kind of went right into COVID. We saw Capitec issue warnings, and then kind of all banks, had an assault on revenue in terms of COVID. We've had a market, the market has been severely depressed. Was like that before COVID, that came in and completely upset the market. Francois, can we start today by speaking about just economically where we are and where banking is right now?
I'm not an economist, but I think we all read the media and listen to the opinions of some well-respected economists. And the reality is we're in a very difficult situation, I think, as a country and as a world. I mean, in immediate effect, we can really see the impact it has on the jobs of some of our friends and colleagues, some of the people we might know, but more so in industries like the liquor industry and the tourism industry. There people are losing their income and losing their jobs. In the medium term, this will certainly extend to employment and to people's expendable income, which in turn will affect the country's ability to grow again. But what probably concerns me most is the long-term effect. Right now, there are students who are meant to be in schools or meant to be in universities who are the future leaders, the future innovators, the future entrepreneurs of South Africa. And this generation is falling behind. This is a generation that's meant to take the country to the next level of growth. And I think that's something we should really be concerned about. So I think the positive thing is that South Africans in general, as we know, we're a resilient nation, and there's lots of opportunities that come out of this economic environment as well. There's opportunities for people to come up with new solutions. And I think what we need to do as government and as big public sector and private sector industries is to get together and to try and stimulate and drive that growth as much as we possibly can.
The past year and a bit, how's it challenged you as a marketer? And how has it challenged you in terms of the role that you play at Capitec?
Well, I think it's challenged all of us quite significantly to be agile, to think on our feet, and to be able to pivot our strategies. As a business, for instance, in Capitec, we had to very quickly pivot to move from a physical face-to-face environment, both at our head office and in our branches, to allowing more remote service. We had to take 2,000 people who are used to working in an office environment and enable them to work remotely. We had to take over 1,000 people who work in a call center environment, who are used to checking in every morning and checking out every afternoon, and enable them to work remotely. And then we had to take our branches and quickly pivot them for the new norm of social distancing. All of that was business impacts that we had to support and we had to work on. So I think as a marketer, what it very quickly challenged all of us is to think about the things that really matter. Often when things go well, it's easy for a marketer to think about these big positioning statements and these big campaigns, and you come up with quite complex integrated strategies across all your channels. And when the rug gets pulled out from under you in the way it has to everyone last year, suddenly you need to think about what is at the heart of the business, what's at the heart of your client's need, and how do you go back to doing that the best way you possibly can. So the ability for Capitec to prove its value as a brand, as a financial partner to our 15 million clients, suddenly was amplified. And that was what mattered, not the big TV ads and the big social media campaigns and the big influencer strategies. It was really our ability to communicate with our client base and offer them value that stood out.
There are two things that stand out for me. The one thing is relationship, kind of your relationship with your customer seems to be getting more and more important. And the other is innovation. It seems to be how important innovation is to the Capitec DNA. Let's start with customers. Where are your customers at right now? What journey have they been on, and how do you know them? How do you stay close to them and understand their needs?
Our approach was very much to say, well, everyone in South Africa needs daily banking. They need to be able to pay money and receive money seamlessly and effortlessly, either by visiting a branch or doing it on digital banking. And that's what we've built. I think across the section of our client base, we've seen the reality of South Africa play out. So we've seen a number of clients who have had to drop out of the formal sector and had to start on small businesses. We've seen clients who had their income affected, but similarly, we've seen some clients who were able to pivot the way they do things and the way they bank. And it's always difficult when you sit in a beautiful campus in Stellenbosch to stay close to the reality of South Africa. But we've got this benefit of almost 940 branches across the country. And in those branches, we have 13,000 consultants who deal with our clients on a daily basis. So we use our consultants to inform us, to give us feedback, to tell us where are our products not meeting our clients' needs, where are the access channels not working, what are the key pain points. And we engage with them on a regular basis, and we open up internal communications channels to be able to garner those insights and play it back to the business in our product development, in our pricing strategies, in our communication strategies, and so on. Then we also use social media quite effectively. We have social media listening tools like everyone else, but we spend quite a bit of time to understand the pain points in social media and the concerns our clients raise. And then it's not just about how do you respond to that to the client, but also what insight can you take from that and feed it back into the organization to ensure improvement and recovery of it. And then, of course, we do regular surveys. I think, though, what's probably one of the secrets, ingredients in Capitec's success is the fact that senior management actively take time to go and walk the streets. And in the end, all of the research and all of the social media data can show you beautiful trends and themes and topics that you need to investigate. But ultimately, that conversation with the person on the street and where you suddenly realize that there are people who don't understand the difference between drawing cash at an ATM and paying for their groceries versus swiping their card and how that impacts their bank costs. Or there are people that are happy to take store credit from various retailers, but they have no idea how to manage their credit profile, what their credit score means, what affordability or the cost of credit is. And that drives us to try and simplify our solutions on the one hand and design better education and communication strategies to our clients to inform them better on using their banking solutions.
What is your role in the life of your customer? What is that relationship?
I think, as we all know, banking for a lot of people has been a grudge purchase. But it's a necessity, right? People hardly ever love their banks, but they need their banks. And for Capitec, we said, well, we don't want to be a bank. We don't want to be seen as a bank. What we want to be seen as or experienced as is a financial friend. And that's why what we've done in our product offer, in our solutions, in our communication design, in all of the time and effort we put into client experience design and development is to make it as simple and as seamless as possible and as intuitive as possible so that people can just do it. And it enables them to rather put their effort and their focus and their energy on the things that's more important.
How important is innovation to the Capitec brand? And can you give me some examples of this during the past few months, some of the innovations that you've unfurled? And how this relates to your market? How does it drive growth? What does it do?
Sure. Innovation is really part of the Capitec ethos. And, in the early days of Capitec, when banking was not easy to access, where banks were open only from 9 o'clock in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon, or when you had to fill in heaps of stacks of paperwork every time you wanted to do a transaction, Capitec innovated by saying, well, we make banking more accessible. We're open longer hours. We're open 7 days a week in a lot of our branches. We make it real time. So when you open up an account, you get your card immediately. It's active immediately. You can use it immediately. We innovated with the way our product and our pricing is designed. But all of that was challenging the status quo at that point in time. We believe real innovation is often in not what that new thing is, but in how we do it. Our innovation happens in taking something like a credit facility and changing the way you apply, changing the way we score people in terms of their credit, changing the way we make it available on their app, changing the experience to make it as simple as possible for people to understand and use. And in the last couple of months, some of the innovations that we brought to market was, in addition to our banking app, which includes the ability to scan to pay. So as we all know, people use SnapScan and Zapper, and some people use MasterPass. And we built in this ability onto our app that allows the 5 million people who have the Capitec Bank app to scan any one of those QR codes and seamlessly make a payment. And this was quite relevant because with COVID, suddenly people don't want to touch cash and you don't want to touch a card machine, and you don't need to anymore. If you can just scan a QR code with your phone, put down your thumb and authorize the payment. Then we also launched a virtual card, which makes it more secure and easier for people to subscribe to online services like Netflix or Showmax or iTunes, or to load this virtual card into wallets like Uber, or to use it for online shopping on Takealot. So we enable payments and electronic e-commerce to be more seamless and better integrated with banking. Capitec has for a long while been known not to offer a home loan. But we've partnered with SA Home Loans, who are absolute specialists in home loans. And we said, well, we understand our client base. We've got a great relationship with our client base. You are the specialist in the home loans. And we brought these two together, completely redesigned the client experience, and then launched it to our audience and said, well, here is a partnership, and it's a simple experience. You can do an application or initiate an application in 4 simple steps within 5 minutes. And there's the ability to track your application in real time on a digital channel. And there's the ability to submit all your documents digitally, not having to fill in forms or sign documents or go and see a bond broker. All of this is innovating, not in the product, but in the way we package it, in the way our clients experience it. The other partnership that we brought to market was our partnership with Easy Equities, and they're democratizing equity investment. They're making it simple to access, easy to do online, much more affordable. And we've taken Easy Equities in terms of their functionality. We repackaged it in a widget and we embedded that inside our Capitec app. And all of a sudden, the 5 million people on the Capitec app can seamlessly activate an Easy Equities trading account. In future, we see partnerships like the ones with Easy Equities and SA Home Loans to be a big part of our strategy in delivering more value to our clients. One of the innovations that we've recently brought to market as well is the Live Better Academy. So we have quite a strong focus in helping people understand their money and the basics about managing their money. And in doing this, we developed recently 2 digital solutions. The one is a formal learning platform called the Live Better Academy. And this includes 4 modules that helps people understand basic principles about managing their money. And we've had over 60,000 people register and subscribe to these modules already. So it just shows you there's that opportunity and that need to educate people and to help them understand their money.
It's very, very smart, and I must say I applaud you for that, particularly when you look at kind of the problem that has been engendered with credit in South Africa, that South Africa has a credit addiction problem. That at one stage one could almost say that the banks were hurting their markets. And it's great to see that you are continuing that by building out kind of to educate on credit surely is a mark of sustainability.
And that's what this is about. We also created a game because we realized to participate in a formal learning platform takes commitment. It takes a conscious decision that you want to learn, and it takes discipline to participate and to complete the modules and the exercises. But for a big part of the market, we could engage them in a different way. And there we created this game called Living It Up, along with a gaming agency in Cape Town called Sea Monster. And in fact, they recently won an award for this in London.
Yeah, they are so good. Yes.
They're fantastic, yes. And we co-created this game. We really went with a very clear brief. We had a number of workshops in terms of what we want to achieve. And the principle was to try and create a simulation type game that allows people to put themselves within different characters in different scenarios. And they manage their life to try and achieve certain outcomes. So this game has got these multiple scenarios that you can play out in a very fun way, in a very informative way, but fundamentally it communicates the principles of planning, of goal setting, and of managing your money in order to achieve your goals, and gives you the option to play around between funding those goals through credit and savings and understanding and experiencing the effect of those decisions. And all of this fundamentally is financial education. It's value adding, but we really think it's brand building as well. This ultimately is the value people see in Capitec as a brand, which far outweighs what they see when they look at a TV ad.
Do you think that marketing is like enabling democracy in a way? Like you're listening more and more to your customers, you're listening more and more to your employees. That transformation is the democracy, so transparency.
Transparency, I think, has become not just a positive trait; it's become an expectation. It's a ticket to the game. It's a hygiene factor. Today, if you are not transparent, in the long term, people will call you on it, and they will share that, and it will, and everyone will know. So it's not just about the transparency. That's always been part of our ethos. The role marketing plays in Capitec is much less advertising and much more communication. And I think it's important. Our first objective really is to represent Capitec's clients within the business. That means the way that we design our business strategies, the way we design our products, our service models, our pricing strategies, we give input and we help direct that. Marketing strategy in Capitec really plays a key part in business strategy. And if you get that right, if you design a solution that is fundamentally correct according to your client's real needs, then the second job of marketing, to communicate the solution to the market, is much easier, right? And I think that's where a lot of marketers fail, and a lot of businesses fail. Traditionally, a business would have product developers or actuaries or engineers or designing a product, creating pricing strategies, and then passing it over the wall to marketing, and they have to brand it, wrap it, package it, and sell it. And that doesn't work anymore, because there often is a disconnect between what was designed and what clients actually really need.
Brilliant. This is a really great interview. Thank you very, very much.
Well, it's been very interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.